Good morning and welcome back to another video. If y'all don't know, it was my birthday yesterday. Officially the big 3-0. My kid is already now telling me that I'm old.
Ha! Old? What was I thinking? I ain't old, huh?
Don't worry, Pops. We're almost across the street.
And tomorrow we're having a big old birthday party. So it should be a lot of fun here this weekend. And I'm super excited to tell y'all that I'm making a ton of amazing progress working towards this MVP. So in this video, we're going to kind of talk about some of the challenges that I faced with 10-stack query and how I got around those things. And then I'm going to give you a little sneak peek on my auth screen because I think, at least for the MVP, it is totally finished. So I'm super excited. Let's dive in. This is going to be a chill day in the lifestyle coding video. So you know me, grab a fun drink, pull up a seat, let's dive in, get your project cranking, and let's get to work. So check out this auth flow, and I want to just show you how easy it is to make auth super simple. So y'all know from a previous video that I decided to completely avoid using Google Auth and Apple Auth because when you have one, you need to have the other at least to release on the Apple Store. So if you try to use a Google provider, you also have to use an Apple provider. And I just didn't want to deal with any of that. Honestly, I like those two providers better than username password. Generally, I hate username passwords just because it's low-key annoying. But Supabase, if you're unaware, Supabase offers a OTP flow. You can do SMS, but it's quite expensive. So out of the box, you can do email, and email you can do it really, really cheaply. So check out this new flow. This is kind of like your landing screen that you would come into. You can type in your email. I have this test that example right now, and you go in and request your code. This is where you would then receive your email, get your code, and it comes back into your OTP flow. And y'all know for testing purposes, I just use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Very wonderful. This is when you can come and verify your code now. If you didn't receive a code, you can click the little resend text. And I've heard rumors that some people are having trouble with OTP on Supabase where it just, for whatever reason, 1 out of 100 people, it just doesn't work. So I've allocated a space to get help, log in with the password. I'll add more menu options here to, contact me, the support team, whatever it may be. So you can log in with the password. It's not beautiful. It doesn't need to be beautiful. It's kind of like the hidden option that most people won't be using and can't use. And this is where you come and type in your password and click login. Otherwise, you are going to verify your code and wham bam, you are into the app. So it's magic link. There are no passwords. There is no password reset that you have to now manage or handle. There's no Google or Apple Auth providers, so it's less that you need to configure and set up. I love this flow. You can come in your profile. This is a really ugly page right now. Come in your profile and then you can go back to your screen. So once again, test my example email, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And actually, let me go ahead and disable the hardware keyboard and show you that when you come in here, then it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It looks fine. It sounds, I don't know about y'all. Are you guys low-key addicted to the little clicky sound when you have your mobile volume turned on? I don't know about you, but sometimes I absolutely hate that sound, and then sometimes I can't get enough of it. And it's kind of like the mechanical keyboard, and I love it. So once again, you can come and verify your code. If you put in a bad code, I don't even think I'm handling the error states right now. So if I do something like, instead of 7, if I put in 9 and I verify the code right now, okay, so I at least give you something, can't sign in right now. This experience could be better, but for an MVP, that is totally fine with me. So I think this is a really cool workflow. It looks like I get myself into an error state, so that's a bug. Glad I did this. Glad I'm showing you the demo live. So that's something I can fix. But let's start to dive into that code and see just how easy it is. So under my layout here, you have your authenticated routes and then your public routes. Public to me is where you have your sign-in screens, maybe your onboarding, all of the things that you can access publicly from an API's perspective. So actually maybe onboarding then should go in the protected routes, unsure yet. Regardless, you get into your root layout and eventually you come into your sign-in screen. So if we look at that sign-in screen, honestly, I'm not using a form. I'm not doing anything complicated. I am just using a couple fields and then holding them in state. So you come into here, simple email regex, just give me something. This is actually, if y'all are unaware, this is a really common regex pattern specifically for emails. But you could use a form here. I probably will in the future. It is the safer, right thing to do. You know, hook up with Zod, hook up with the other form libraries, and away you go. But for now, MVP, wash your hands of it, good to go. So it is just some text, some input, and some styling, and it's all handled for you. Otherwise, you get past that sign-in screen, so you pass the regex validation and you move through, and you come to your OTP verification. And this is where I want to show you all this super, super easy library to use for OTP. Some people will look at that OTP, and just to bring it up again, you know, y'all saw the flashing fields in between each thing. As I click through, it goes between the different stages. And like I said, it's just very nice on the eyes. I love the separated fields. It's just a little more of a nicer user experience without introducing complexity. So this is what is super cool. There is a OTP library, and if I can find it in here, it is just called OTP input, and that's it. You give it some styling, you set the code on text change, you can set focus colors, you can set the theme, you can set how long the little stick, I think they call it, yeah, the stick blinking duration. So you literally can set all of these variables in a single library. So this is one of those libraries that is still actively being developed. It is having increased usage over and over. And man, I am so glad I didn't have to make this silly little widget and just use it. It just works. It's not complicated. It is so beautifully written. I love it. So check out the OTP input, and I believe the actual library itself, if I look it up here, is, yeah, React Native OTP entry. So check out that library, use it in your products. At least it's got my recommendation of good enough for me without having to write your own. You could write your own if you need some crazy animations or crazy stuff like that, go ahead. But for me, super easy. Once again, not dealing with forms, not dealing with any of that stuff. I will eventually, I probably should be, but this is super easy for me to just use state and not overcomplicate it. So to me, the auth flow is now done. I definitely killed the app here, so I will fix that bug. Let me just reload. But I love this flow. It is super simple. I think it is fairly, let me turn off my keyboard again. I think it is fairly intuitive to just kind of request your code, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Obviously, they'll get a real code, verify the code, and wham, bam, you are in the app. Now, all of the state management and sessions and all of that stuff is just handled for you, and it's super cool. And this video has already been long enough, so I'm not gonna dive into the tan stack React query issue I had. That'll be in the next video. It is one of those subtle things that is, hindsight, I'm like, duh, makes sense, totally obvious. But while I was working through it, I had no freaking clue what the hell was going on. So it's one of those things where I really want to give you the details so that you don't have to fight the same damn bug that I fought for literally days. It took me days to figure this one out. And it was something so stupid. Once I figured it out, I was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. Now we have a lot of chores to get to. Need to mow the lawn, need to weed eat, move all the dang kid toys for this birthday party that I'm having tomorrow. So with that, I will see you all next week. Peace.